I can't walk around with a t-shirt with my name on it saying vote for me and go in the voting booth.
It wasn't posted anywhere, and the people that were working there didn't know themselves.
No, that's the law.
Tell me that.
I'm telling you, that's the
Well,
law.
I'm telling you, I didn't know, and other people didn't know. I'm explaining.
Put you down, you know, you're 19. Do something with your life. Don't become a statistic.
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal. Did you understand?
Yeah.
That's a yes or no.
Yes.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right. What were your issues that day?
Were my issues that day?
Yes.
Well, I couldn't believe it was happening because all I wanted to do was go vote.
No, the problem was not you going to vote. And I will tell you, I teach campaign and election law. And when people at a location tell you that you're not allowed to wear certain items when you go into the voting booth, you're not allowed to do that. When they tell you you're not allowed to wear certain items when you're entering doors, you're not allowed to do that.
They told it wasn't posted anywhere, and the people that were working there didn't know themselves.
No, that's the law.
Tell me that.
I'm telling you, that's the
Well,
law.
I'm telling you, I didn't know, and other people didn't know. I'm explaining my situation. That doesn't seem that anybody's heard yet.
Oh, well, let me just tell you what it says in here in the police report, because maybe you didn't read it. It says you were walking in and the person, they have judges who are there for voting and they have people who are working there, who work there. It's yes or no. It's not They were working there and they told you you needed to remove your hat because it was not allowed inside the voting area. And that's the law. And that's always, but here's the thing. That's the law. It's always been the law. For example, I can't walk around with a t-shirt with my name on it saying vote for me and go in the voting booth. It's not allowed. Once you get to a certain point, and it's that 100-yard line that they have, when you cross into that area, you're not allowed to be in line with t-shirts about who you support. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah. That's the law. And then when people tell you that, you can't start hitting somebody. And it says on here that your wife even tried to stop you.
Ma'am, that's all incorrect. Do you want me to explain? Can I explain?
Sure. And if you want a jury trial, I'll give you one.
Well, I'm not talking jury trial. I just want to explain because it's incorrect what they're saying. I was in line for 45 minutes before I actually got to vote. They asked me to remove my hat then after I was standing there for 45 minutes. So I removed it. I put it in my lower back. I went through the whole voting situation. When I went out the other side, this person that had already harassed me in 2 other previous times that I went to go vote in a different location was again there. I walked away from him twice, 2 other times when he was verbally harassing me. Okay, this is the 3rd time. And this 3rd time, I walked away from him again twice. He would not let me walk out of that place without harassing me and getting physical with me.
All right, so
that's what my wife was trying to.
Let me tell you what it says in here. And I go by this document. It says that the complainant went on by explaining that as part of his duties, he is supposed to advise voters that they are not permitted to wear or display candidates on their person while they are on the polling premises. It says he observed an older adult male inside the polling premises, and you had displayed campaign material, which was your hat. He observed the violation. He contacted the male and advised him that he would need to refrain from wearing the hat while on the premises. The complainant explained that the male complied with his instructions while he was voting, but then put the hat back on as he was making his way to exit the premises. At the time, the male was still inside the building and clearly well within the premises. Due to still being well within the premises, he approached you again and advised you to remove the hat while he was on the premises. The male, that's you, explained that he was on his way out and refused to comply. And it says he began to follow you and told you again to remove your hat. And as you were about to exit, you struck him on the chest and facial area area several times with your fist, causing him pain and discomfort. And then that's when you left. I don't know why when people go to places, how hard it is to follow instructions. When they say you can't do something, you can't do it. And if you want to complain about it, complain to your legislature. If you want to wear campaign materials inside a location while you're voting, if you want to wear it within the 100 lines, because they have those lines marked with a white, sometimes yellow line. If you want to do that, then you need to write your legislator and say, look, you need to change these rules because I want to wear my campaign gear inside the area while I'm voting. But for now, you're not allowed to do that. And you need to follow the rules. How old are you?
4.
All right, you're 64 and you're up here fighting and I don't even call it fighting because it doesn't say that he ever even hit you back.
Yeah, of course.
And so you're up here fighting with somebody who's just trying to do their job, help people come in and vote and go on your merry way. And they're not even paid enough money for somebody to be hitting on them. So it appears to me you do have anger issues.
No, I don't have anger. Like I said, I walked away twice. And in the situation, I walked away twice. Didn't say anything in there where he followed me all the way and he screamed in my ear. I have hearing difficulties from my time in the military. I didn't hear what he was saying. I was walking out and he was quite a ways.
Did he not tell you to remove your campaign gear?
No.
And that you were not allowed in the area?
That was after the fact when I had already gone out. I was in the library section already.
Let me just tell you, within that 100 line, you are not allowed to wear campaign gear. Now, if you're saying what's being said is untrue, then you need to set this for a jury trial because I go specifically by what's in the police reports. And there's a reason why this says waiver consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. You know what that means? That means that everything is in this document. You're stipulating that it is true and correct. And this is what it says. I, Jesse Lutzenberger, do hereby judicially confess and admit that I intentionally and knowingly in Bexar County, Texas, on or about the 24th of October, 2024, did intentionally and knowing cause injury to the complainant by striking the complainant with the hand of the defendant and by pushing the complainant with the hand of the defendant. You stipulated to that and said it's true.
Anything about him?
This is true. You stipulated to this. Now, if you're saying he punched you first, then maybe you want a jury trial and you want to say it's self-defense.
It's on video. The only reason why I'm accepting that because I don't have the money to continue. Or of course I will defend myself.
All right. Does he want a jury trial?
No, we're accepting the plea.
Is your wife? Is somebody here?
My wife is here.
Oh, she said no. You don't want a jury trial.
Okay, no.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe that, look, point being there's, as you stated, that's completely clear. The law is the law. I think that there was a fundamental miscommunication and understanding as far as how it was proffered to him at that time. I think that realistically, the way people speak, someone told him, take off the hat while you're voting. I think in his head, that's what he believed. Hey, take the hat off. I'm walking out the door. I'm basically at the double doors. I can put the hat back on. Understanding clearly that is still in violation of the law. But I want to make clear, it's not like the statute book was not pulled out and read to him at this time to understand the 100 feet. Again, it's not an excuse, but I think where his mind was coming at, he had finished voting, he had waited the 45 minutes, and he was leaving. And then he had an individual come up and approach him. Just to give some context, it's not change, obviously, the law itself or your viewpoint of this, but I want to.
Well, I mean, my viewpoint is the stipulations that I've received.
Understood.
There's going to be a $500 fine, 2 years deferred adjudication, 200 hours of community service restitution. There's going to be the hostility management course, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And there's to be no contact with Mario Montemayor. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, I would like to say that all this is my self-defense. Because nobody wants to be harassed or bullied in front of their significant other.
Yeah. I understand. You know what? I understand here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. And I understand sometimes that tempers run high, right? And sometimes when we don't know the law, and if somebody just tells you, you can't do that, sometimes people want to know why I can't do that. And they want you to explain it. Sometimes people will explain it. Sometimes they will not. For example, I try to explain everything so people will know why things are happening. So now you know, and I'm telling you, yeah.
And
So here's the thing. This is what I'm telling you. When you see, if you go vote again, when you see that line, you are not to cross that line with any campaign materials. And that's why when you see candidates who are out there talking to people, they're not allowed to go past that line. You know why? Because you are not allowed to campaign past that line. And wearing T-shirts or any type of hats or anything for whatever candidate you support, whether you say anything or not, that's considered campaigning. And legally, you're not allowed to do that. And if people want to change the law where they can wear their campaign shirts or whatever beyond that line, you have to do that with your legislator. My job is just to follow the law. You understand?
yes, ma'am. This happened in Georgia and it happened in South Carolina, I think, and the people still got to go and went on their way.
Well,
Different place, right?
this Texas,
Yeah.
you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.